Hey, everybody. Welcome to Side B.
Welcome to Side
Still
B.
figuring out how to do the transition.
All
This ain't rock
right.
and roll. It's genocide.
I don't get
great.
that reference.
Eric, for people who didn't join us for Side A, what sort of wonders await them if they decide to go back?
There's a lot of David Bowie nudity.
Mm-hmm.
And
in audio form.
I'm audio nudity that I'm uncomfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? There's Bad Tony.
Oh yeah, Bad Tony makes an appearance.
Bad Tony makes an appearance, and it's about that time. And you know what? David Bowie, as far as I'm concerned, may or may not be married to a person. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Dan hasn't told me. I'm really not sure. It seems like he's in a bad place mentally.
Yeah. So does that
where we're at in the story?
So then, okay, getting into the music now. Does all of let me rephrase that because I'm supposed to not ask yes or no questions. In what ways does all of that help or hinder your understanding of this album as you have understood it currently?
It helps a lot because this album, so I'm looking back on notes that I wrote a month ago,
mm-hmm.
and I'm looking at my recent notes. But I at one point, let's see, where did I finally get to it? When did I finally figure it out? I finally made it to "Let's Spend the Night Together."
Mm-hmm.
Toward the end of the album, where I finally realized, is this entire album nostalgia?
Well, you know what that was, according to Angie Bowie, especially "Let's Spend the Night Together." That was him doing that competitive sex thing with a Rolling Stones song. Because him and Mick Jagger were
going for the sex champion of Europe.
No, well, you know that "Let's Spend the Night Together" is a Rolling Stones song, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
So Bowie, it's speculated that by Bowie doing "Let's Spend the Night Together" in a way that was better than the original, it was kind of him, dominating.
It's faster. It's more insane.
Yeah. I'm going to put this in a more like music critic-y sort of way. He was taking Mick Jagger's girlfriend in the form of that song and piping her in the poop chute.
So, okay. So he's like, hey, Mick, awfully nice song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
We're polite British people.
Right.
I'm going to fuck your girlfriend.
Yeah. That's basically what that was.
Sorry, Mom.
Thanks for listening.
Please,
so
$2 a month, $1 for each of us.
So let's start with "Watch That Man."
I don't know. Really sorry, Mom.
Blame me. I mean, it's
Dad's a bad influence.
I am. I really am.
He's the type of person that you always worried I'd hook up with in high school. Dan does drugs.
I do not.
No, neither of us do drugs. We just drink and sleep.
I take medication, but
well, yeah, legal drugs. Yeah, it's
but not like in the Elvis way. Like I'm very careful with it.
Yeah.
And the more we get into it, the less it sounds like that's actually the case. And that's anyway.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're not covering up for anything. No. I have taken marijuana literally twice in my life.
Oh, see, I am not allowed to do the marijuana. Oh. I did it a lot for a period of time, and it's just what it ends up doing is it makes the voices, the ADHD voices in my head, way more interesting. Like they are no longer a distraction. It's like, oh, Oh, and if I do more, they'll be more interesting. Ooh. So yeah,
I'm looking at Instagram right now, and our Bowiesplaining pod. My mom follows us, but we don't follow her.
Oh, well,
which is fine because we've only posted on there twice.
Oh. Okay.
Hi, Mom. Love you. No drugs here.
All right, we are at side B. These people have no patience, so we need to get
What? This is what we decided to do, to split the show up so that it's not 4 freaking hours long.
It's still gonna be long, but
hello. Now we will talk about the David Bowie album. What's
I'm
this
pretty
one?
sure. I'm pretty sure most people will listen to both sides, but I really like the idea of taking on a combative relationship with the side B, whatever side B listeners exist. Be like, hey, what's up, you shithead?
Who the hell listens to this crap? This isn't interesting. This is 2 grown men giggling.
Yeah.
Which is a description we've gotten in a 1-star review on our other show.
They also called us woke, so whatever.
That was a different review, and I'm very proud of that review.
Yeah. I mean, look, is the criticism accurate about us being grown men giggling? Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But I don't care.
I'm proud. I'm a proud to be woke ass man.
Yeah. I'm proud to be American.
Watch that, man. This sounds like a cover.
It does. And
it sounds like a not Bowie song.
And this being one of the final albums that I listened to in my original run, I immediately, because just for whatever reason, I just kind of was never drawn to it.
Okay.
I've made friends with the album since. I definitely appreciate the album much more than I like it, but I appreciate the hell out of this album.
Okay.
And watch that, man. Every time I listen to it, a little part of me just goes like, taking care of business.
Every day.
That was the very first thing. The very first thing I heard when I listened to it. I was just like, "The fuck is this?"
Oh, yeah. The thing that bugs me about this song, I don't know what the frickin' words are, because in the mix, his vocals are down.
Mm-hmm.
Did he do this on purpose?
Funny you asked that, because right here it says,
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not reading the notes ahead of time.
No,
this is what I literally wrote. I'm like, I can't listen to this frickin' song because he's like,
yeah. I'm glad that the entire album isn't mixed this way, because then it makes it not bother me that this happens.
Turning that post-it on its angle makes it very 90s. I like it. Very rad.
We're
not there yet.
Welcome to my constant need for distraction, Eric.
It is actively changing these slides as we're doing this.
I can't help it. This is just what I do.
This is what he normally does. He shoves things off to the side.
Yep. Ooh.
He's like, we're done with this one. Like, we have to.
Done to me. It's dead to me.
The people who pay us $2 a month, one for each of us, pay to see these slides, and he's just
move them back,
shoving them around.
I'll move them back.
Yeah, right.
So people, I guess, did have some issues in the studio with that choice to mix the vocals way down.
Okay,
but they just decided, what the hell, let's just go with it, because it kind of does fit the album. The album is in re-listening to it, it has a lot of similarities to Hunky Dory to me. Just in that
there's a lot of piano.
And it's just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, but it's like Hunky Dory after he's figured out how to make an album.
Yeah.
where it's just like, oh, we can do this and we can do that and we can do this. And it all kind of ties together because it has its kind of an aesthetic, and this track over here connects to this track over here. And then there's some stuff in the middle that like they kind of connect to each other. And it's not that it's incoherent necessarily, but it's kind of, it's like, everything kind of connects, but in a way that you can't really put a finger on other than just like, well, I just listened to this album. Everything kind of makes sense on its own with like maybe a couple minor exceptions, but I get what this album is, but nobody please ask me to tell you what it is.
Yeah, when I first listened to it, I think I texted you and I said, what the hell is happening here?
Yeah.
Like, the songs are good, but this guy is clearly doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, it's not a regular album. Like you're looking at, well, I'm looking at the progression because I've been going through this album by album. I'm not listening forward. And I hear this and I go, wait, what year did this come out?
74?
73?
73.
This is not a 73 album.
No.
This is a 1956 album. Like, what is, like, this dude is going back in time. And that was my impression. The whole thing, it like listening to several of these songs, it reminds me. So we're gonna get there. There's Dan's favorite Beatles grandma music.
Mm-hmm.
There is a demented version of a Stones song.
Mm-hmm.
There is there are songs that are reminiscent of.
There's doo-wop and Nuclear Holocaust.
Oh yeah, there's a significant amount of doo-wop.
Yeah,
there's a lot of doo-wop, but then there's some really hard rock in Cracked Actor and Panic in Detroit. What the hell, man? This guy, like, this album doesn't have a theme in a lot of ways, but I really like it.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
As we've discussed in the side A part, the piano kills me. This is a man who gave piano to somebody else.
We're here.
And we're on Aladdin Sane.
Yep. I mean, there's more we could say about Watch That Man, but I think we don't. I feel like we're good there.
Let's see. Benny Goodman fan painted holes in his hands. So we're talking about an old man who liked jazz music and was a Christian. I don't know.
What?
I can't hear the lyrics, and we talked about it. We're done. Aladdin Sane is when we get to the piano.
I've never actually read the lyrics. Watch That Man lyrics.
The lyrics are interesting.
Shaky threw a party that lasted all night. Everybody drank a lot of something nice. There was an old-fashioned band of married men looking up to me for encouragement. It was so-so. The ladies looked bad, but the music was sad. No one took their eyes off Lorraine. She shimmied and she strolled like a Chicago mole. Her feathers looked better and better. It was so-so. Yeah, it was time to unfreeze.
We don't care what's happening.
Then the Reverend Alabaster danced on his knees. Slam! Well, it wasn't a game. Cracking all the mirrors in shame. Wow, this gets worse. Watch that man. Oh, honey, watch that man. He talks like a jerk, but he could eat you with a fork and spoon. Watch that man. Oh, honey, watch that man. He walks like a jerk, but he's only taking care of the room. Must be in tune. A Benny Goodman fan painted holes in his hands, so Shaky hung him up to dry. The pundits were joking. The manholes were smoking. Every bottle battled with the reason why. I'm really trying not to do this rhythm.
I had to read the lyrics because I can't understand them. They're so quiet on the mix.
And I'm feeling like we don't really need to hear them because it's kind of just a vibe.
It, yeah, and it's a good vibe. I like it. I like the song a lot, but
Like what
holy
I'm
crap! Looking at these lyrics, oh, this is fucked up. Like,
it to me it feels like a party that everyone wants to be at, but the person singing it does not want to be at.
yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah,
Which
yeah.
totally fits with
I
where he is.
I couldn't understand the conversation. Yeah, I ran to the street, uh, looking for information. Watch that man. Oh, honey, watch that man. Like this guy wants out,
Oh yeah.
and he's in with a crowd that he doesn't belong with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these are people who are doing their thing. They're acting out in their way that they think is fun, and he is not having it.
Right. I'm actually glad we looked at the lyrics because I like the song a lot better now.
You've never looked at the lyrics?
No, I'm a bad Bowie fan. I'm a bad Bowie fan in a lot of ways. I mean, like, I'm not saying that in a way that like I take ownership of, like, but I accept that to a lot of people, I'm a bad Bowie fan, just like I'm a bad Disney fan. I'm a bad, like, I enjoy the things that I enjoy. I tend to enjoy most David Bowie things. I don't feel the need to, I don't care about lyrics. I like vibes more than anything.
Uh-huh.
And because my feeling, as I've said on Dan Hates the Beatles, is if the lyrics are important for me to hear, I shouldn't have to make a lot of effort to hear them.
That's fair. Yeah.
That's a musical choice, So,
and that's why I'm curious about this choice, because I only know these lyrics because I'm reading them.
Right.
On this song, they're so downplayed in the mix.
Right.
Like, that has to be a personal choice to downplay.
I think
Bowie lyrics, which are smart, they're interesting lyrics.
Yeah.
And I can't hear them.
I think it does get back to that. I'm using my own. Let's see. What do we have here? The notes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm back to watch that, man.
Composed in New York, reflecting Bowie's A-list status and experiences in the city's celebrity circles. Intentional and conversational praise, outperforming. Describes a typical rock and roll party scene with an undercurrent of competition and insecurity. This is not just me writing. This is from a source that I don't remember where. But yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have gotten that until I read the lyrics because I couldn't hear them.
Well, and I think that kind of the not hearing the lyrics sort of emulates a loud party where nobody can really hear their own thinking.
Fine. That's a really interesting description. Okay, fine. Move on. Aladdin Sane. I love this song. The piano is unhinged. Who will love Aladdin Sane? It's kind of on the nose.
Oh yeah. Especially when you get the background.
Oh yeah. And there's like this is a Hall & Oates kind of vibe in a way, in the best way. I love Hall & Oates. Let's just put that out there. And I know that my favorite band, Unfreeze McGee, Joel regularly riffs on this on the bum bum bum. Like he does that in songs frequently, which is why it was so familiar. But then, oh gosh, the second half of the song, when it's just bum 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 bum, and just insane improv on the keys, and who will love Aladdin Sane, and I love it. I love it. I absolutely love this song. Yeah, Dan. Some words.
No, this is good. No, I'm really enjoying this. So he wrote it while returning to London, and it's more of an introspective thing because he has some space from America.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I need to think about the things that I saw in the horrible place that is America.
Oh yeah. Let's see. The song style, including dates, preceded world wars, reflected Bowie's fear of a third world conflict and his perspective on the era's decadence and impending doom. Again, we got to keep in mind, cocaine is in the building.
No, so, and I get that, but I mean, it's along with his Jungian and other Superman type philosophies.
We are definitely getting we're opening the cocaine door. So like
the cocaine door.
We still have literate. I mean, he's always literate. He's always been smart, and that never goes away.
Right.
But it's that thing where you sprinkle a little bit of cocaine on these things, and it gets really out of hand.
What do you think about this? Bum, 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 bum. Just keep playing those two notes. You're fine.
Well, and I always enjoy imagining. I haven't seen much footage of his Diamond Dogs tour, but I enjoy imagining during the Mike Ronson solo of Aladdin Sane, like imagining David Bowie going off stage, just shoving his head in a thing of cocaine, just
jamming his face into that pile and coming back and like, all right, we're ready for round two.
And then you see him come back on the stage, walking in rhythm to the boom, boom, boom. It's just so much white powder on his face.
All right, kids, we're ready for more action.
And he hits that note with like renewed vigor, and everyone's like, "Hey, he's back!"
Oh, he hit it this time. Before he went off stage, he was like, "Oh,
whatever."
Hang on, I'll be back.
He's like a cocaine-fueled Energizer bunny. You can probably hear the connections to Terry Burns there. If you haven't, then there you go. That's proof right there.
Who's Terry Burns?
His brother.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We've been there.
It says here, according to what I have read in other places, he read, wow.
He rode Juan's Wild Bodies.
I just, for some reason, just started having difficulty with the English language. He read a book called Vile Bodies on the, what the hell, a ship that influenced Aladdin Sane and parallels the frivolous, decadent society in Wa's book and contemporary life. We've been talking for a while. Let's hear about a summary of Vile Bodies by Evelyn Waugh.
Back to our channel Summaries of a Bookworm.
Oh,
your number one place for all who need or like to listen to book summaries. Let's start with the book summary of today. Almost everyone
This is a fake man telling me about a book?
Channel crossing. Some passengers become tipsy and take to their berths. The bright young people, led by Agatha Runcible and the effeminate Miles Malpractice, bandage themselves and hope for the best.
So I haven't actually watched this video because when I realized that it was AI guy saying word to us, it's like, we're just going to discover this together.
Mrs. Melrose Ape, a famous female evangelist traveling with her troupe of singing angels, bullies a few hardy souls into singing hymns in the smoking room. Father Rothschild, S.J.
John is a way that you can ride on a motorcycle in space.
By the way, I just want to point out that we are a very literate podcast. We talk about literature, we talk about art, we learn how to play instruments. So yeah, we might make dick jokes and laugh about,
penis.
Yeah, but at the heart of it, it's really about the literature.
It's really about bees.
A young writer named Adam Fenwick Symes is on his way home to marry Nina Blunt. To his chagrin, Dover customs officials seize and burn the manuscript of his autobiography he wrote while in Paris. Almost as bad as Agatha's case, in which she is stripped.
I've learned nothing from this.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're done. We're done here.
Yeah. All right. So
Aladdin Sane. So there's some great chord changes, and other people have used them
Yeah.
The piano used with a history of major rock recordings, including the Beatles, played a significant role in the song's distinctive sound.
I don't know.
I
don't know what I was doing.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Dan
Carson
wrote
was
that.
recruited for his distinct jazz and new dimensions of Bowie's music. Okay, got that. It was all completed in one take. The piano.
Clearly, you can tell Garson just went freaking insane by the end of the song. Oh, it like the entire song just loses it.
Yeah, totally.
And I love it. I absolutely love it.
And it continues to lose it when the song turns back into a proper song, because we have references to on Broadway, like all of it is, you can it's almost like okay, yeah, we're back on track, but you can feel the train like falling apart.
Right. Yeah, we have the derail, but it's not something that fades out at the end, because you come back to more lyrics, and it's fantastic. It keeps going.
I agree with everything you're saying, and on top of it, I love that the end is just boop.
Yes. Oh yeah. After everything is done.
Yeah.
Boop.
Boo. How else? How do you? And I guess it's a great answer to the question: how do you end this song? Just like that.
Yeah. Okay. That was it.
Yeah, we're done.
Drive in Saturday. We're on the doo-wop portion. Like
I'm curious about it. Was there any motion sickness coming from Aladdin Sane to Drive in Saturday?
Motion sickness. The whole album is weird.
Yeah.
The whole album is like, I'm gonna do stuff I remembered from when I was a kid, and I don't care about y'all.
Yeah, no, there's a bit of that. And how did you feel about? I'm curious, because of the next album we're going to get into. How did you feel about that as a project?
I felt confused, but entertained.
Oh, then
because I love 50s stuff. I love old rock and roll. I love that style. So having Bowie do, like, I don't know, let's do an old doo-wop song.
So I don't want to give anything away here, but I can.
But the words, the lyrics are so the effects that happen in it are modern for the 70s, and they're creepy. We get to some cool acoustics. It's a very Ziggy song in my mind. It feels Ziggy.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And I think that I wrote in my initial interpretation of this album, I think the Flaming Lips loved this album.
Oh, yeah, I think you're probably right.
It's great. Like, this song is fantastic. But then, just when you thought Bowie was over the Jungian junk,
he references him directly,
and he's in a 50s style song directly referencing Jung. He's on the drugs.
Very much on the drugs. He's also references T-Rex and Twiggy. But yeah.
Who are the Ravers?
Let's see. Ravers.
It's classic rock and roll, kind of modern, definitely lyrically modern, but a very trippy song.
Oh yes,
in
very
an
much
old
so.
style. That's what makes it so great. It's not regular. Like, it's not normal.
It is definitely not normal or regular.
The things he is doing are not normal. And
listeners, if you know who the Ravers are, let us know.
Please give us $1 each
Or-
on Patreon.
Or you can email David Bowie at teenagewildlife.net and let us know who the ravers are.
There we go. Dan's got a lot of notes. I haven't looked at them yet.
There's not. I mean, it's kind of just it's. There's not a lot there.
It's not an important song. It's not a big song. It's just good, kind of fun.
Yeah, and listener, before you start throwing things at us, I think we both agree it's a good song, but it's not. It's not one of those where it's just like, oh, did you know that he was blah blah blah. I mean, there's a little bit of that. I got Bowie's sighting of the domes led him to envision. You would think I would say what domes, but no.
What domes?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
What domes did he look at, Dan?
It's sequential. Okay. Conceived driving Saturday during a train journey from Seattle to Phoenix. He didn't like to fly. In November 1972, he didn't like to fly pre-cocaine too, by the way. It's not because of that. Fascination with the post-apocalyptic future in America's landscape. He got all sorts of observations from his touring in America, particularly an encounter with large silver domes in the desert, and those sparked his imagination.
What are these domes?
I think probably just like, let's see, domes in the desert.
I don't know.
Oh, Grand Canyon Sky Domes. Check this out.
Oh. Clear sky. Oh, that's
Show
big.
me pictures. Oh, here we go. Sky domes. That's a
those
playground.
Aren't domes.
Damn it, Google. Here.
Do your homework, sir.
We got domes in Arizona. This is
those
from
aren't silver domes. Those are clay domes.
Maybe they're dirty. Desert Dome, Friends of the Domes, the Milwaukee Domes.
Those filthy domes in the
dirty
desert.
Domes. I don't know. There's domes.
Sighting
the domes led him to envision a dystopian future where people relearn intimacy through films inspired by his late night travel experiences. That's fun.
So David Bowie is teaching people how to fuck.
I think that's what's happening. I think he's imagining a world. I think he's imagining a future, a dystopian future where it's almost like the flip side or the dark side of life on Mars, where it's like he's imagining a very, very fucked up situation where people are like learning basic human emotions from a screen.
Hey, everybody. Let's just get together and take off our clothes and put our genitals near each other. That's how it works.
Let's see. Touching on post-apocalyptic themes, sexual rediscovery mirrored the societal shifts and uncertainties of the 70s.
Okay.
Basically. He introduced Driving Saturday during his American concerts in late 72, and initially on a solo acoustic guitar.
Cool.
It peaked at number 3 in the UK. Didn't get any action in the US, but when it got...
Because the U.S. knows how to fuck.
I mean, famously, that's really what we're known for.
That's what we're known for. Yeah.
I mean, when you think America, international listeners, I think you'll agree. When you think of America, the first thing that comes to your mind is that's a group of people who knows how to fuck. I'm going to leave that there.
I'm really sorry, Mom. All right, Panic in Detroit. Oh, no, it's worse. What does Kiss have to say about this song?
Oh, wait. Oh, because they're from Detroit?
They're a Detroit band.
Oh.
Cool beat. A little tribal, but not in an insulting way.
Does it sound to your ear? I know it doesn't get faster progressively through the length of the song, but it always sounds to me like it does. Did you get that at all?
I could see that. No, it does not get faster, but yeah, it builds, even though it's kind of the same through the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think what it is the beat is slower than you might expect. So I think part of your brain is expecting it to be a hair faster.
That's interesting. Yeah.
It's like in this weird uncanny valley of BPM to my brain.
Yeah. No, that's a good point, because it's trying to pull something, and it's trying to make you feel something just based on the beat. And then the particular drums they use are just,
well, it's very
relentless.
Yeah, and it's very urgent.
Yeah. Oh, urgency. Yes, that is something that I wrote down.
Yeah.
Why won't anybody phone David is one of the things I wrote about the lyrics. Is it because he's in Detroit and they don't know his new phone number?
Clearly. I mean, they didn't try the method that I've used on other podcasts, which is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1-on-1, 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 and then 1-on-1, 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 2.
I'll get to you, David.
Eventually you'll get there.
I'll help you out.
Do we want to learn about the riots that was Bowie? I guess he was hanging out with Iggy Pop at the time. Iggy Pop grew up in Detroit, as one does, and in between David,
we all hung out with Iggy Pop in the
Iggy
60s,
practicing self harm and all sorts of other fun things.
Oh yeah,
he basically would because I think Bowie was clearly fascinated by America and by the sort of like decay of everything.
This is an American album.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, stories from Iggy Pop about Detroit's 1967 riots and Bowie's encounter with a former classmate turned drug dealer inspired this song. And again, we're sprinkling a little bit of cocaine on the whole thing.
Okay.
So this is sort of
cocaine in Detroit.
So we're getting it's definitely filtered through his mental state, but he's also reacting to an actual thing, which I don't. If a lot of Americans didn't know that there were Detroit riots, I guarantee that he didn't know.
I'm a Midwesterner, and I have heard of said.
Let's learn.
Noted historian, author, and Detroit native Thomas Segru was in town last week to talk about the 1967 rebellion.
Thomas Segru is my uncle.
Detroit Journalism Cooperative member Keith Owens spoke with Segru about his book on race and inequality.
By the way, Detroit Public TV.
One of the most eye-opening moments that I had in doing research for my book on Detroit was reading the papers of the NAACP, the leading civil rights organization in the city. They had several boxes of complaints sent by ordinary African Americans in Detroit in the 40s, especially the 50s.
By the way, just to clarify, I'm including this because I did not know this. So I would imagine that, I mean, it's not to say like, well, if I didn't know it, then nobody, but like, it's safe to assume, right? That
I learned about this because I lived within the same time zone as Detroit.
No, I grew up in Claremont, California.
Why would you hear about this? Of course.
Totally. I had no idea. And honestly, I always thought that it's just like, well, here goes David Bowie down the cocaine train, toot toot. But it is actually
people are killing each other in Detroit.
There's actually something there.
Oh, okay,
fine. He's crazy. He always does that.
In the early 1960s, about harassment they had faced by the police. African-American women walking to church in their Sunday finest, being catcalled and called the N-word by white police officers driving by. African-American men who were walking or riding a bicycle or riding a car through an all-white neighborhood would almost always be stopped. And being stopped didn't just mean, please show me your license. It meant get out of the car, being thrown against the wall, often being beaten for being the wrong color in the wrong place at the wrong time. So you had those resentments built up to 67, but you also had a long history of struggle in Detroit on the shop floors to end discrimination in the workplace, in the neighborhoods to improve the conditions of housing, and in the schools, and against the police. challenging discriminatory practices by shopkeepers. Detroit was a bastion of activism. But those cries were often not heard or listened to or heeded by the city's white leadership.
Mayor Kavanaugh at the time, considered basically a fairly decent mayor, but surely he would have, how would he not see this when everybody knew this kind of discrimination was happening?
Well, Kavanaugh, was elected in part because of Black Detroiters' anger at the previous mayor, and especially for his crackdown on quote lawlessness and the really aggressive policing that he instituted, and more so than almost all big city mayors at the time, Kavanaugh was really committed to civil rights. But there were limitations, right? I mean, Kavanaugh and his people, as well-intentioned as they were, I don't think fully had their ear to the ground. And look, Detroit was doing pretty well economically in the 1960s. The administration was getting a lot of money from Lyndon Johnson and the War on Poverty and from model cities to try to improve conditions in Detroit. And I think they believed that those would be enough, right? Not recognizing that there were so many unaddressed issues just beneath the surface.
Police Chief Craig says there's no way it could happen. He doesn't think it could happen again. And like the police, others, I've heard many others say it could happen again. Some of the same things are in place now that we're then, and some things have actually gotten worse. What are your views on that? What do you think?
I think we have to celebrate the progress that happened, but realize that there are a lot of areas where things have stayed the same or gotten worse.
Dan, there are no thumbs on this. Please upvote that.
Okay,
that video.
Upvote.
Very interesting. Oh gosh,
David Bowie's Panic in Detroit.
I mean, that was all happening before I was a human, and that's very interesting. And that's it. Bowie hasn't gotten super political before this, has he?
No, but he is, or what he. This might actually be part of him becoming political, because later he gets very, I mean, not overtly vote for this person kind of political, but here, David Bowie, MTV, interview racism. And I was actually going to save this for our black tie, white noise, but I mean, we could get into, actually, yeah, we'll save that. Here's, which one do you want? Do you want the short one of him talking about black tie, white noise, which ties into race relations in America, or him grilling MTV for not playing black artists?
Holy cow. I don't know. I mean, we're going to talk about it eventually. So yeah, you pick.
Let's go here.
Things have been changing, but it's a slow process.
I know it's funny. I think people have different perceptions when you wind up watching. Let's say you watch an hour or two or even 3 a day. People somehow come away with different ideas about what we are doing. We don't have any.
Bowie looks pissed.
Oh, by the way, he is searing him with his eyes.
Not happy.
So here's where it starts.
I'm just floored by the fact that there's so few black artists featured on it. Why is that?
I think that we're trying to move in that direction. We want to play artists that seem to be doing music that fits into what we want to play for MTV. The company is thinking in terms of narrow casting.
That's evident. It's evident in the fact that...
That's evident.
Oh, wow.
He goes,
let's goodness.
Playing, or a string of other black faces.
That's
and black
very
music.
Interesting. Isn't that interesting?
You know, we have to...
He's humoring this guy.
I think the entire country is going to like, and certainly we're a rock and roll station now. The question would be asked, well, should, since we're in New York, should PLJ play, the Isley Brothers? Well, you and I might say, yeah, because we have grown up in an era when the Isley Brothers mean something to me, and so do the Spinners, even way after the Isley Brothers. But what does it mean to a 17-year-old? Well, if you talk on the phones to these guys like I did when I was in radio, it's
well,
scary.
I tell you what it means. I tell you what maybe the Isley Brothers or Marvin Gaye means to a black 17-year-old.
Ah.
And surely he's part of it. It was
No question, and that's why you're seeing those things.
Do you not find that it's a frightening predicament to be in?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, this guy. I love him.
Understand it. The fact is, quite frankly, I could even point you towards a letter in the new issue of The Record, the magazine The Record, responding to an article by Dave Marsh that this kid just ranted about what he didn't want to see on MTV.
Well, that's his
problem. In no uncertain terms. Well, what I'm saying, though, is that, as you say, there's certainly a lot of black kids and white kids who may want to see black music. There's a ton of them who are... It's not like it was in '67 where you say, yeah, I'm not into that, you know, but you are, yeah. Now it's, you're into that? I don't like you. And that's scary, and we can't just turn around and go, well, look, this is the right way.
Oh, that zoom. Right on his face.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
Bowie is so pissed.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's just letting him, you know, he's giving him so much rope. And then this last part.
Please tie this around your neck. Please, I'll kick out the chair underneath you. It's fine.
Here's this last part is priceless.
Well, look, this is the right way. We can only teach, I think, a little bit at a time.
Interesting. Okay, thank you very much.
Does that make sense?
Interesting.
I understand your point of view.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hank in Detroit is an interesting song.
Yeah, and I mean, there's
musically, I love it. And lyrically, it's really grim.
Oh, it's very grim.
It's so grim.
So you got Bo Diddley Beat. Let's see, Post Riot America. What else we have? We have our backing vocalists are here. Written in Michigan, completed in LA.
Huh.
You got there, I think. Cracked Act.
It
just keeps getting more and more.
This is the hardest rock so far.
Yep.
It's the rock is very fuzzy.
They fed the harmonica through a guitar amp.
That's awesome. I wrote on my initial listen, need to listen to lyrics. They sound dirty.
All right, here we go.
It's fucking dirty. Yeah. This guy, this is a song about an old actor.
Yes.
Who hooked up with a prostitute. Like that's it, right?
I'm stiff on my legend, the films that I made. Forget that I'm 50 because you just got paid.
Suck, baby, suck.
Oh, yeah.
Give me your head.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean...
Sorry, Mom.
Thanks for listening.
Please pay us $2 a month, one for each of us.
Let's see. During Ziggy Stardust tour, Bowie stay in Los Angeles marked by decadence and indulgence. We kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
Moving away from Ziggy Stardust and embracing a new, more decadent character influenced by American experiences. That we'll kind of see a little bit more of that in the David Bowie that you are, Halloween Jack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Foreshadows elements of Diamond Dogs, as I said there. We got the harmonica.
Another naked Bowie on a cover. Okay. All right. We're fine.
Yeah.
Time.
Oh.
Grandma music much?
I guess.
Beatles grandma music?
By the way, Cracked Actor last track on the first side, and we begin with Time. I don't know.
Flip over okay.
Is it? I don't think it's granny music. I think I get what you're saying.
It's demented grandma music.
Yeah, it's demented granny music.
It's the piano. It's the piano. Yeah, it's more than.
Oh, Billy Doll, New York Doll, Billy. Oh yeah, you can visit where Billy Doll, the New York, demanding Billy Dolls and other friends of mine. That lyric. That's for the New York Doll Billy Murcia. I don't know. Anyway, you can visit where he died.
Just keep saying words. But the fuck. Okay, so he directly says that he's wanking.
Yes.
Time is a wanker.
He's flexes like a whore, falls wanking on the floor.
It's another Ziggy type song. Like this feels Ziggy to me.
Yeah, I agree, but there's that it's getting darker, it's getting weirder. He's feeling something creeping, and it's not necessarily mortality. It could be Defreeze. I don't know. It's
Defreeze is creeping up on me.
I think honestly, you could.
How many Tonys do I have?
You could replace this with Fame and call it Fame Part 1.
Okay.
Because it's not so much. I don't think it's really time that he's. It's a good song. I'm glad it's called Time, but I think I think this is the first draft of Fame, and this is the first time I've thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, he's yelling about something. He's got feelings about this, and there's that piano component that is classic and raggy, and
there's that point where it's just chugging along as they're doing that.
It's kind of plodding.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, something's wrong with this piano.
Definitely.
Something is wrong here. This doesn't feel right. Yeah. And that's kind of it. I think that's the main feeling here is, for me, it feels like something screwed up.
Yeah. And I think we're definitely getting into David Bowie as a more mature songwriter also. He and in the notes it says he performed My Death. Are you familiar with that song?
I am not.
I'm not going to play it because this episode's already really long. But
these two episodes.
Yes. It's a song about his death, and it's not. I think it's a Jacques Brel song. Let's see, My Death song.
That was a picture of Bowie holding his saxophone.
Oh yeah, that's a
weird
preview.
Way.
That's a preview of our next album.
A really weird way to hold the saxophone.
Song.
My Death song.
Jacques Brel. Some lyrics. My death waits like an old rue. Okay, whatever. So confident I'll go his way. Whistle to him in the passing time. My death waits like a Bible truth at the funeral of my youth. Weep loud for that in the passing time. My death waits like a witch at night, as surely as our love is bright. Let's not think about the passing time. This was a song that was a staple of his tours. And I think he kind of, at some point, he did a response to it, whether it's intentional or not. Yeah.
Time.
Time. Yeah. The Prettiest Star. Who is
Pleasant.
Yeah.
It has vibes from The Man Who Stole the World.
Or Sold the World, yeah.
Did I say stole?
Yeah,
sold the world.
Wait till we get to the Man Who Fell to Earth, the movie. It's gonna get all sorts of confusing.
Awesome. But like the chords. So there's more 50s nostalgia, but the chords are they hurt my head. They're awesome. I love them. I love these chord changes. It's a lot about memory. It's very nostalgic in the lyrics. To whom is this song addressed?
Funny you should ask that. This was addressed to Angie Bowie.
Oh.
Who he hated at this time.
Oh. So his first first wife? First wife?
His first wife, yes.
Okay.
She wanted to be. So here's this might help. You have probably noticed the very saccharine sort of delivery. It's a straightforward love song, and it's like pretty much the first one he has written. Is it for Angie? Well, he certainly told her that it was for her.
No, it's more demented than that. Yeah,
it's for Angie, but he knew, I think, that she wouldn't. So I'm going to tell a parallel story. A band I really like is called Cocteau Twins. The singer Elizabeth Fraser, it came across this singing style where she would obscure the lyrics purposely in by putting more syllables, putting extra syllables certain places, and it's really cool. Her husband was the lead guitarist for the band, and he was a raging alcoholic, and towards the end she was basically venting about him in the lyrics.
Okay.
And I think she figured out that he was too drunk to put two and two together. So the last album, and a lot of this is my speculation, but there's enough out there that it would be reasonable to put this together. Their last album is basically her saying all of these, basically saying like, I'm miserable, I'm going to leave you. This is why. And it's all in this delivered in a way that if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't even notice.
Okay.
I think The Prettiest Star is sort of that, where he was like, she won't even notice that I'm being sarcastic. Fuck it. Here's your fucking song. Speculation on my part, but
okay.
If you listen, I think that if you listen to it with that in mind, it does hold up. I don't know what. I found some good Angie videos. Oh, here's Angie. This is Moon Goddess by Angie Bowie. But Angie, feel free to sue us. I don't care. Like,
please give us the rights.
Do you want the rights to this?
No, I don't like this.
This was released 3 years ago. All right, so there's that's
wrong decade for that.
Here's let's see. I found all sorts of Angie stuff, and I remember really being tickled by it. Oh, here we go.
We're certainly not denying that opportunity tonight because we've invited Mick Karn. We've kept him here since last week's Whistle Taste to accompany
Angie Bowie on some
Angie,
awful TV show.
Do some poetry.
Certainly.
Doing poetry.
Please do.
Oh no.
Yep.
No one wants to hear poetry. Live.
However, she is doing it to the bass of Mick Karn, who is a very skilled bassist, no longer with us. There we go.
Today, tomorrow, yesterday are geographical locations in time's abhorrent calendar where there are no vacations.
No, not into this.
Snapping your fingers. She's dancing. Mick Karn is tolerating it.
He's like, all right, I could play some bass.
Oh, you may stop the video and so rewind.
Okay, I will. Let's see what else. What other treasures I found about Angie.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Looking forward to the next one.
Oh, hold on. This one's good because they basically talk about how just obnoxious she was.
She should have been a model. The thing about him is he was supremely self-confident. He was not ever stopped by any kind of failure. It didn't bother him if he failed or succeeded. He just kept going. If he failed at something, the next day he'd start something new. She was very thin-skinned, and you could look at her wrong, and she would crumble. Which is, you can't have that kind of feelings about yourself and put yourself in the public eye. Because she looked fantastic. People wanted to do things with her. It was always she who would ruin it. It wasn't the world's fault. It was her fault, and she could never come. But she did have great.
So she was not a pleasant person.
Not the prettiest star.
No, but you should. I didn't include this, so don't worry. But you should hear her read about this song in her autobiography. She is very sure that it is about her, and she is very sure it's about how much he loved her and could not move on from her while he's,
Everybody, if you want to give $2 a month, $1 for each of us, you can hear us talk about some of the supplemental David Bowie things. Look at these words.
We've kind of talked about Let's Spend the Night Together, the background of it, but
yeah,
how about the actual song of it? Did we already cover this?
We talked about it a little bit. I think it's great, but it's demented. And this is when I realized, this whole album is nostalgia. That's what I wrote.
Yeah,
in my notes here. And what's with the spoken word thing and the fake car sounds? Fast and frantic. Some sort of urgency here compared to the Stones version.
I think that's. I think it's probably the car is probably a nod to Roxy Music.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm just guessing, and I think he is. I once read the theory that he was definitely trying to big dog Mick Jagger.
Definitely, maybe.
Mick Jagger's quote.
And Mick's like, who's that guy? I don't care.
Yeah. Mick Jagger's quote, never wear a pair of shoes, a new pair of shoes in front of David, because he'll wear them.
That man loves a Tom Ford suit.
I really do think that it's just him trying to big dog Mick Jagger on every possible level. And I think the spoken segment is just part of that. I think it's just him going like, yeah, look, I've completely redone your song here for you.
It's not that bad. I'm still Mick Jagger. I'm still the best.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger is now a character on this show.
And by the way, Rolling Stones went on to perform this song in this style for the rest of the time they performed.
Oi, the way he did it. Maybe we change the timing. I think we do it. What do you think, Keith? Excellent feedback. All right, we're doing it.
We got an ARP 2600
1, 2, 3, 4.
We have an ARP 2600 synthesizer. Listeners, you're welcome for me not playing that video. Reinvent the song.
You don't want to have another boring British person tell us about?
No, I want to, but I'm going to need to pee soon and eat.
Oh, okay.
And move on with my life.
I'm missing out.
No, I think I did try to find something suitably boring, and it just nothing worked.
Look for that in the notes. $1 for each of us a month. Genie.
I mean, it's a single, right? It's just I mean, again, I think
regular.
There's the nostalgia that it does. It sounds regular. The nostalgia's there. One interesting thing about this was his first music video accompanied this.
Oh.
And it was kind of, people weren't really doing music videos at that point.
Oh. Why was he keeping our hair?
I think I if I remember correctly, they recorded a version of this song like in the back of the bus when they still shared a bus together. Like this is early American tour from what I understand.
Okay.
And it's the impression I get is this was kind of recorded.
I'm saying words.
It was written at a time where they were just kind of like having fun as a band together.
Okay, that's cool.
And it was just sort of like, yeah, let's do an old blues song. And
he did say he was keeping our dead hair, though.
For making underwear.
Yes. I don't want underwear made out of my hair. I'm just saying that. I'm sorry, David.
I don't know if that would be more comfortable or not.
I feel like not.
It would make sense though for it to possibly be more comfortable.
No, thank you.
All right. You don't know how to live, I guess.
Lady Grinning Soul, Did
you see what I put here?
Grimace Soul. Grimace. Fucking bastard. I love this song.
Yep.
The piano is insane. It's so great. When it kicks hard.
Mm-hmm.
This song is hot.
Yep.
It's horny as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you wrote not intended to be a Bond theme, often compared to one. Holy crap, you're right. Oh.
Yeah.
This could be, I'm a huge Bond fan.
I forgot. Yeah.
Oh.
Wouldn't it make sense?
This is totally a Bond song.
Even the chord structure.
Oh, the chord structure, the orchestration behind it.
You could totally shove that. You could totally shove it in there.
Oh man. Oh, I love this song. I love this song. The song is reminiscent of a James Bond movie theme, blending cinematic elements with
I ran out of space there. That's
and Cosmopolitan and Tim.
Yep. Thing about Jamboard is it only give you so much space.
Think about Tim. When you're listening to this song, make sure you think about
Tim. If there's a Tim in your life, think of Tim when you listen to this song. And think of Tim as James Bond. So we also friend of the show, Milo Tim walked down the aisle at their wedding to this.
Oh,
yes. So that happened.
Which wedding?
Theirs.
Oh, okay. Oh, Milo. Oh no, now I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. So his emotional state during this period was complex. He described himself as a pretty cold person with a strong lyrical emotional drive. We got Mike Garson blending influence from Liszt, Chopin, Roger Williams, Liberace.
Yes,
we got all sorts of flamenco stuff going on. It's a really kick-ass song.
Oh, I have listened to this song probably 7 times today.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love this song. It's so well done. And it part of it doesn't make any sense to me. But
this is who it was written for, apparently. Claudia Linaire.
Oh, Claudia's hot. All right. Okay. Because it's
Backing
just
singer.
it's a sexy song.
It's a very sexy song.
Yeah.
And it's not, and what I've always appreciated about this song, and when Bowie gets actually sexy, is it's not just like, yeah, and then I grabbed her tits and I went honk honk, and then she grabbed my wiener, and like sucking on my knob. Like it's like a lot of musicians, when they go there, it's just like,
right,
yeah, look, my balls sometimes stick to my leg, and that's sexy, but this is like actually like,
it's romantic.
Yeah.
In a very, the Bond thing works well because it's like, this is the peak of romanticism. Like this is, I'm making love. Like it.
Yes,
man.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's steamy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my work, my notes from the first listening were great piano intro. Oh, holy shit. When it kicks in hard. What is this? This song is hot.
It definitely is hot. Let's see. I have no idea how I ended up. Oh god.
Oh no.
Here we go. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did.
Oh no, he's wearing a cape.
So I don't know about you, but my brain is turning into mush. So let's just see what happens. Okay. So, this is him performing. This is him performing Cracked Actor during his Diamond Dogs tour.
Oh, the song about an old man who hired a prostitute. Okay.
Yes, which is almost peak cocaine. I'm just delighted by this picture. Because
looking at that picture, all I think is Gina.
So I'm stuck in this really weird place with the sad, dark period of David Bowie's career, because for a very long time, my friends and I would kind of take this weird, funny delight in how messed up he was. We're just like picturing like almost like the way I find Elvis in his final years very funny. So I'm torn because I'm not really there anymore with this period. I mean, I'm definitely seeing it as sad and tragic, and but I think because there is a recovery and a full recovery, I feel like I'm definitely in a tasteless place to still make those jokes, but I don't feel bad because it goes in a good place eventually.
Okay. No, that's interesting. Yeah. To understand that at some point he became a better version of himself.
Yes.
Gives me hope. Gives me strength.
Yeah. So he has said that he finds Aladdin to be more effective than Ziggy at being a rock album. I
don't know about that. It's old timey. But it's a good album. I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot too. And I wanted to include so far, how would you rank? How many have we done? We've done Space Oddity, Man Who Sold the World, Hunky Dory, Ziggy Stardust, Aladdin Sane. 5. How would you rank the 5 currently? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't know if that sound came through.
A little bit, not much.
Man Who Sold the World, still favorite.
I got that feeling. Okay.
Ziggy.
Okay. Number 2. That's number 2?
Yeah. Hunky Dory.
Oh.
Aladdin Sane. And
interesting.
Old School.
That makes sense. I think for me, I haven't thought about this, and This is, it's again, I think I've said this. This is a weird period for me because I'm still in that place where I like a lot of it. I do like. I just want to be very clear to the hardcore Bowie fans out there.
Both of our listeners, yeah.
Yeah.
We actually have a lot of listeners. Thank you, all of you, for listening, and thank you, both of you who pay us money. But we've got a decent amount of listeners, and I'm very appreciative. I don't know if Dan is appreciative.
In my own way.
He might be.
To whatever extent I can appreciate things, I'm appreciative. No, I do appreciate it.
Dan doesn't care if you listen or not.
Well, I mean, that's true, but I do appreciate when people do. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah. Like if we had 12 listeners, I would still do this because I enjoy it.
Yeah, same. Absolutely.
Finding out that we have more than 12 is gratifying.
Yeah, I mean, middle-aged white men need a reason to talk to each other.
Right.
As Dan has pointed out.
We would have no reason to talk to each other.
Right. Why would I talk to you? I
wish that weren't true.
Hey, how's it going? How was today? How was your work? How was your work day?
I'm working on something. What do you need?
All right, fine. All right, I'll talk to you next month.
I mean, I wish there were a joke, and I'm sorry to people in my life that deal with that version of me.
You've said it so explicitly.
It's not on purpose.
Middle-aged men can't talk to each other unless they have a project.
It's true.
I'm sorry. I talk to my wife, and that's about it.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. And I mean, yeah, we're all working I mean, I'm not saying it's not a fixable thing. It's just, it exists.
Does David Bowie, is he holding a cane, or is that just the microphone stand?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that he was so intense that he pulled the microphone off of the microphone stand.
Well, he did dabble in cane use for some time.
Yeah, that and the eye patch. Yeah. Dan, put that over his face because I can't see his package in this shot. So. All right.
So as I was saying, I like these albums. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it, but I still
so you still like David Bowie, huh?
It's like 60% like, 40% appreciate. Where when we get over to, and I feel like you will know when the moment hits in Diamond Dogs. When there's a moment in Diamond Dogs
where the next episode, okay.
Well, we got to talk about what next episode is going to be. There's a moment in Diamond Dogs where that 60-40 goes swoop right over to like 90-10. 90 love, 10 appreciate.
90 love. Yeah. He's all in on Diamond Dogs.
And it stays there up until a point that I will let you know when we get to it. But you can guess.
I can't. Because I am not allowed to look forward in the discography.
Having said that, though, if I were to rank my 5 in this area,
please put that box over his junk.
I think
there we go. Thank you. I'm uncomfortable with the amount of junk I'm in this episode.
The Man Who Sold the World might be of this 5. Man Who Sold the World might be my number 1 as well. This is probably my number 2. Space Oddity, and again, this is filtered through like having been around this music for a very long time. Space Oddity, when it hits really good, but when it doesn't, it's kind of garbo. For that reason, I put it in the middle.
You kind of dissuaded me from some of it with like, all right, now I'm going to tell you about the time that we went to a festival.
Yeah, I mean those parts of it I definitely don't enjoy, but I find them. I think coming from a biographical point of view too, it's sort of like oh, remember when he was happy?
The festival was all right.
I think Hunky Dory.
The water was a little bit too expensive in my opinion, and the hot dogs.
They had Avion for $12. They had Hunt's ketchup which I found rather mid.
I met Becky there. Becky was all right.
Stand was solar powered.
But Becky didn't have a lot of diapers for her child.
Yeah, I think Hunky Dory I like less the more I spend time with it. That I'm gonna put that one at number 5. Ziggy Stardust number 4.
Okay.
Simply because Ziggy Stardust is, I think, it's fine. It's just the amount of overratedness that accompanies that album.
Okay, I
is
can
what
see
puts
that.
It there for me.
I can understand that overrated area, but it's overrated for a good damn reason. In my opinion.
No, I absolutely agree.
Like Starman and all of his hits from that album they slap.
Yeah, I'm glad it gets the attention that it gets, but I think for context, and this will eventually make sense to you, we're dealing with somebody, that my favorite 2 albums, top 5 for me, and this isn't going to mean shit to you, but for the listener who is a Bowie fan and it's like, what the fuck, you don't like that, Barbara? Top 5 in no particular order because I don't know that I could do it.
All Diamond Dogs.
Diamond Dogs is up there. I love Outside, and I'm aware that might be hard for some people to hear. Outside, definitely Heroes, definitely Low. Like those are interchangeable for like top 1 and 2.
At least I know the song Heroes,
right?
Which I love. It's a great song.
The album is wonderful. Diamond Dogs is up there. Let's see, Outside, so that's 4. Probably Buddha. Black Star's its own thing.
You have alluded to your emotional connection to Black Star, and
I will.
I think you need to leave that out because that's a different thing.
It's 100% its own thing. I mean, yeah. Oh my goodness. Buddha of Suburbia, I think.
Oh,
yeah. Those are the top. Those are my top 5.
These are all words I don't know.
Right. Well, and any Bowie fans listening to this, hopefully that gives you some context. It's like, yeah. So we're still in that place where it's still almost too normal, but only because I know where it goes.
I am really looking forward to more in this series.
Me too. So
just I mean, I've listened to so many of these albums on repeat since doing this show.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the background, and I can't wait to hear more.
So good news.
There's more.
Even when it gets weird in the mid 70s, think I'm confident that you're gonna still enjoy this.
Mid-70s is now because we're already at 73.
Right. He gets real active, he's releasing an album a year from this point on.
Oh, okay.
At least. Now, programming note, do we want to move on to Pinups, which is the next studio album, or do we want to touch his live? Do we want to finish up more Ziggy by watching Ziggy Stardust, the motion picture?
Oh, the picture. Oh, ooh, I kind of want to see the picture.
Okay.
I kind of want to, yeah.
Because it is just, it is concert footage.
Okay.
It's not like the story of Ziggy Stardust put into film. So
you're scrolling around a lot. Where is it streaming? Where can I buy it?
I have a link somewhere that I'll send you.
I will pay money to watch this.
You probably don't have to. Now, next, so then I'm thinking we do that, and then we probably don't touch any Ziggy shit afterwards. We move on to Pinups.
Mom, I'm sorry Dan said shit.
So then
my mom doesn't listen to this podcast.
do we do a live reaction for Patreon?
Oh,
here's what I'm thinking. We do live reaction for Patreon, and then we do probably a shorter, like one side of an episode for the reaction released onto the Pores. Sorry, Pores, but let's face it.
Both is great. Who else do we want to have any guests?
That is an excellent question. I haven't really thought it through, but
yeah.
Do you want to have a guest? Do we invite Teg? For no reason at all.
For no reason at all. Teg's probably interested.
I like torturing Teg.
I love Teg.
Mainly because I think he appreciates being tortured, so it's fun for me.
Let's find out. I'll invite Teg, and we'll see if anybody else wants.
Should we get Lisa Land involved?
Maybe we'll get Lisa Land involved. We'll get James. James, producer James, Teg's husband, involved.
Okay.
I don't know if they care about any of this shit.
I think it would be fun. Here's what I think would be really fun is if whoever we invite, they need to have no connection to David Bowie.
What is the box that you're swinging around the screen? Bowie's ability to retrieve overlooked elements.
Yeah, that's sort of what he does. I think that's what makes this. I think now that I'm thinking back to it, that's what makes this picture fun for me. Is it's like he's I found another one. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we find somebody who has absolutely no reason to watch this other than us asking them to, and you cover all of the context and history. And you don't have to do it right. But I do want you to try.
I've deliberately not looked at the behind the scenes of this movie.
Well, it's just a Ziggy Stardust concert. That's all it is.
Okay. Well,
so we'd actually be covering material that we've already talked about. We are officially with Aladdin Sane.
Material we talked about months ago, but I don't remember.
I don't know. It doesn't have to be like that.
Okay.
Anyway, we can figure that out. I think, listener, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for continuing to listen.
Thank you for your $2. $1 for each of us.
Yes. In case you haven't heard about it, that's something that we're doing.
Yeah. Please contribute. And you'll get access to all of the slides that Dan puts together and destroys during the course of the episode.
I can put them back together.
And probably other things that we'll think of as we go along the way, like the thing we just talked about.
Yeah.
And I really want to do that. So,
all right. So we'll do it. We'll figure it out. And by the time you hear this, we will have already done it and already figured it out.
It'll be late June when you hear this episode.
It will be, won't it? Maybe. Wait.
No, we're catching up.
Be May-ish. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening. Bye-bye. We love you. Hey, everyone. A really quick update on the Ziggy Stardust motion picture front. We have, as of this recording, recorded a live watch along, listen along, whatever the kids call it, for that with Josh from Dan Hates the Beatles. So the idea, in case you are as old as I am, is to listen to the MP3 that we will be posting on the Patreon, Bowiesplaining, and then watch along with however you manage to acquire the movie. Of course, pirating is very bad. You should not do it. You should not go to thepiratebay.org and search for Ziggy Stardust, the motion picture video. Absolutely do not do that. That is a bad idea, and it is highly illegal. And if you should do that, I hope that Yoko Ono and Iman both sue you, because you deserve it. So definitely do not go to the Pirate Bay to download that movie. It's also available for free on a link that we will provide on Patreon, but who knows how long that will last. Right. We may or may not get into it on the next episode, which is pinups. I just wanted to kind of get into that so that you're not surprised by the lack of that. Yes. Period. Enter, new paragraph. Here is a thing that Eric has begged me to leave on the podcast. This is us before we started recording, before our brains started melting out of our ears after talking for 3 hours. Yeah. Thanks for listening. It has nothing to do with Bowie or anything that is anything that anyone should be interested in, but we both find it delightful, and I've put it at the end of this episode because that's the only place that it's going to make any sense, like it matters at this point. That's it. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the future. This is like my new favorite channel. They're the best. Especially, hold on. Okay, I'll cut this out.
Okay. Maybe. All right.
Dinosaur. Prepare your butt.
Are you hearing sound?
Yep.
Okay, I got to change my settings.
To see what this is about. The lady was telling us that the garlic.
There it is.
Roasted.
Garlic.
This is the channel I talked about.
Herb chicken Alfredo. So there is.
Oh, that herb chicken.
There's not much to choose from. You feel like you're enclosed, like you have your own private space.
What is she doing?
I was eyeballing the ball.
Wow, ball.
Dawn. I think you were saying you were going to go with the traditional.
I like to eyeballs.
We
Oh
ordered
man.
waters with a little bit of the lemon. It's a clean, modern. We were warmly welcomed. They took our order immediately. Yeah, because I don't like being in the center of an open room over there. And they have brews on.
This falls in. What the hell?
Perfect.
So this channel, I talked about this channel on the show. That's Florida Resident Edits. They take these people who like are professionally on vacation because they like get paid through super chats to go on cruises and to theme parks and shit. And they're all basically just on some level scammers. They enjoy Adam the Woo because he's like very clear about what
Adam's
he's actually doing.
The best. Yeah.
He's great. But these people who are like just complete pricks, they make these edits of their videos and they're great.
What the lunch? Music is not over loud. types of dining settings.
The camera work has
especially
to be like ironic, right?
Yeah, no, they re-edit this to make them look as awful as possible.
I usually always get the chicken parmesan.
You always get the chicken parmesan.
Look how nice and clean it was in here.
It's like a modern feel, right? That was recommended to us.
Highly recommend.
This is another
chicken.
That's like
our small plate is here.
That guy is their favorite one to make fun of.
Parmesan's just coming off of it, and I can't wait to dig into that. Oh yeah, so let's go ahead. And dig it. I can smell the.
You're right. I haven't delved into this, but I kind of love them.
I can smell the garlic. Pull it away and see. Look at. Oh wow.
You got some butter
on there. I can tell by your face that that's good. Oh boy, I'm gonna dig into this myself.
Anti-zoom in.
A little bit of that.
Extra zoom in. Oh my goodness, what is?
It's the truffle, I believe. That's what it is.
Sometimes they reverse the eating, so they pull the food out of their mouth.
At that,
Dan, they might be better at the internet than you are.
I think they are.
Like, if there's a vampire here, doesn't have a chance, right? Going in.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Oh, that guy. I love that guy.
Wow. Amazing. Makes me want to meatballs and other things. Go ahead and cut your chicken Alfredo in half there. Your pasta. And I'm going to get into this.
I never want to eat food again.
You know what I mean? The tomato sauce is, yet again, it's really tomatoey, but it's just that. Tomatoey. I guess that makes sense, right? I like it with steak. Very moist.
You gotta give me the links when I post this
more, I guess.
in 7 months.
I'm gonna edit this part out. It has nothing to do with it.
Get some of that sauce. The noodles are done perfect, by the way.
I'm so entertained.
I know it's fantastic.
It's good also.
It's good.
We have a little bit of bread left over. Really hot, like it should. And I'm about full. Yeah, I am totally full. And I think we are going to get some dessert to share. I think the cruise ship is rubbing off. You know, you got tiramisu, gelato, and this will make a nice dinner. So we did order dessert, which is not normally what we do.
Sure, Jan.
Oh, look at that. But the cruise ships have made us spoiled.
I got this pistachio gelato.
Now they had it on our cruise ship. Gelato. Look at that. Okay, Dawn. So go ahead and we're going to share these. So it's like one for one, one for all, or something, or good Italian gelato.
Oh wow, that is really good. It's got a good flavor.
Pistachio, is it like throughout and all that? Yeah. Dawn is going to feed me some of her pistachio. Yeah, I am totally full.
And the nuts are just soft.
It's super creamy, right? And that's the way gelato should be pressed.
I'm no longer hungry.
And gelato, and like gelato. It's the cream. I'm trying to get my words. The cream is like consistent throughout.
No. No.
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
Can I grab it and grab a bite of it?
I don't want to eat food ever again.
Dawn is going to feed me, right? This is kind of becoming a thing.
I love when they reverse it. It's so wonderful.
Oh, shit. Welcome to Bowiesplaining.
Vanilla. It's got a vanilla flavor. It's super rich, like very super rich.
Where we watch the worst of food videos.
Pistachio ice cream, Extra was perfect. Gelato. Yeah, and it's like a modern feel in there, and it's very clean, like very open. It's a clean. We were warmly welcome.
I'm crying. I'm crying.
And then our entrees came out
until the girls came.
Italian. This here is my wife Dawn. Hi. I'm Will. It really, this channel has grown. Getting better.
And it should.
Our equipment and stuff like that.
Let this channel grow.
Forge and Gatlinburg.
I will stop podcasting forever as long as they get more watchers.
You have to look in the back of people's yards and buy their barns and stuff.
Dan, what the hell?
Move down here. Dollywood. I know a lot of you will probably argue or comment. I want to be able to research the video a little bit more. You know what I mean? So,
I know. Thank you.
Just
don't cut this.
Evil.
Please don't cut this.
All right.
Our listeners don't care what we talk about. They want to hear.
I'll tack this on at the end.
Bye.
Speaking of ending, this channel, they end all their videos with a variation on a theme. Apparently Michael K is one of the YouTubers that they make fun of the most because he is a Paul F. Tompkins character, like made flesh. And it's a loop of him saying again and again and again and again and again. And they usually have some video looping that it's the ultimate inside joke.
All right, let's finish then.
Okay.
Vince McMahon.
As Master Yoda likes to say,
that's Michael K.
Much to learn you have.
That was too many minutes.
I know, it's wonderful. Thank you, Florida resident edits. Hey, I'll put this somewhere, probably towards the end of side B. Speaking of